Hello, podcast listeners. We know podcasts are a great way to catch up on a program that you may have missed on KSJE, and it's provided as a free service of this radio station. But you know, KSJE is now listener-supported, and so while you enjoy this podcast, we hope that you'll also take some time to join KSJE. Become a member today. It's quite easy to do. Just go to our website at ksje.com/support and pick the level of support that best matches your budget. Thanks again for listening. Here's your podcast. 10 minutes past 8 o'clock. It is Tuesday morning, the 17th day of December, 2024. Good morning, everybody. I'm Scott Michlin. Thanks for tuning in to KSJE 90.9 FM over the air right here in San Juan County, New Mexico. In Durango, Colorado, we broadcast at 103.3 FM. And if you're listening from anywhere else on Earth today, you've gone to our website to do that. We're streaming all the time, of course, there at ksje.com. I also want to welcome our viewers who are joining us this morning. The video of this program is streaming out live to the KSJE Facebook page and also to our YouTube channel. So welcome aboard, everyone. I am glad that you are with us. This morning, we are getting an update from Bloomfield Schools. Several guests in the studio with me this morning, so stay tuned for that coming up in the next few moments right here on KSJE this morning. Then it's Tuesday, of course, so later on this morning at 8:50 a.m., I'll be checking in with Amber Francisco from the Farmington Regional Animal Shelter, and she'll be telling us about some of the pets available for adoption this week, including Cowboy. That's the name of the dog you see on the screen right there, so stay tuned for that coming up later on this hour here on KSJE. Next, of course, Mick Hess will take over the studio. He'll take us roving with the arts, our weekday classical music program, which begins at 9:06 this morning. Don't forget, we invite you to connect with us on X and Instagram in addition to Facebook and YouTube. And if you're a podcast listener, you can subscribe for free to KSJE Podcasts. You'll find them wherever you listen to podcasts and maybe discover a new local program that you may have missed or download some podcasts in advance of those holiday road trips. You never know, right? So check it out and discover some new local content. Outside our studios this morning here at San Juan College, it is sunny, 28 degrees at the moment. We are expecting some increasing sunshine today with a high of 50 degrees by this afternoon, 23 in clear skies overnight. It'll be sunny and 47 tomorrow, 48 with sunshine on Thursday, 52 on Friday, and 50 on Saturday. But maybe it doesn't look like a white Christmas, at least at this point in the forecast. Overnight lows in the mid to lower 20s. I'll be back with my guests from Bloomfield Schools right after this on KSJE. KSJE is supported by San Juan Regional Medical Center, whose vision is to deliver world-class care, making life better for the communities they are privileged to serve. Offering a comprehensive range of inpatient, outpatient, and emergency care services so residents can live life better here. San Juan Regional Medical Center, community-owned and operated, here for you. I'm back in Studio A with my guest this morning, as I mentioned, from the Bloomfield School District. I am joined here in the studio with three principals from the Bloomfield School District. Great to have you all with me. Let me introduce everyone to our audiences this morning. We have John Guitierrez here from Charlie Y. Brown High School in Bloomfield. Good morning. Thanks for being here.
Good morning.
Appreciate you coming over. And then Jennifer Griffith is here. She is the principal at Navaane Elementary School in Bloomfield. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here. And also Jena Arambula is here. Arambula, thank you for correcting me, from Central Primary, the principal there. Good morning to you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you all for coming in, and I appreciate you being here. Superintendent Summers is in the wings, kind of waiting for his introduction, so we'll get to him in just a moment. But first, congratulations, because you all are here to kind of celebrate some designations from the Public Education Department and some recent visits from folks with the Public Education Department, and so we wanted to share a little bit about that news. Mr. Gutierrez, let me start with you about Charlie Y. Brown and what the news was for your school.
So our news was really cool. We went from MRI, more rigorous interventions, to a traditional school. And it's all in thanks to the teachers and the students that are there. I mean, they really work hard, and
Right.
able to get that designation.
And so this is a public education department designation, as we see on the screen, right? And there are
Yes.
different levels, I guess, that they apply to schools,
That's
right?
correct.
And so that MRI, more rigorous intervention, meant that your school needed a little bit more attention, I guess.
We needed a lot of attention,
Okay.
apparently, according to them.
Right, and it was because based on, I guess, just student performance or student achievement?
It was graduation rates.
Graduation rates.
Yes.
Thank you. And so you went from that level, remind me, to where you are now?
Traditional.
Traditional. Okay, very good. And so that's just second from the top.
Right.
And so that's a big jump, I would say.
It is a huge jump.
What do you attribute that to?
The teachers. It's all them. They do a great job. They care about kids, and they're there for the kids.
Very good. And so graduation rates are where are they now, I guess? Or
70, 74, 75, mid 70%, which is a little bit above the state average, actually. So,
right. Very good. And that's for alternative high schools, right? So
Yes.
that is somewhat of a bit of a challenge sometimes too, I would think.
it is a challenge, yes.
Right. And so congratulations
Thank you.
to that. And then, and so we also have another photo to share because the PED set up some folks to, I guess, congratulate you in person too, right?
They did.
For this as well. Tell me about that. What happened there? You had a whole bunch of people, I think, in the photo we're going to see.
Yes, we did. We called our teachers out. The PED came with some ladies. They brought us a nice little banner to display in our
There it
school.
is, yeah.
And it was a lot of fun. We got the kids out to see it as well. And
Right?
yeah.
And do your students feel like they have some ownership, I guess, in this as well, and are encouraged to maybe
I
study a
hope
little bit
so.
more, or, get across that
I
stage
hope
at the end of the
so.
year?
We try to make it all about them, so I hope that they do feel like, hey, this is our accomplishment as well.
Very good. Now, here we are kind of at the middle of the year. We're in December, right? And so what's your message to your students and maybe even their families, I guess, as you look at the next 5 months, right? Is it time to just coast or buckle down
No,
and
we
then
better
stay
not coast.
engaged?
Yeah,
Okay.
let's push through. Let's get to graduation, get through May, and go on from there.
Right. Very good. And I imagine for a school like Charlie Y. Brown, there's a lot of great success stories from students who maybe were struggling at the regular high school and maybe weren't sure they could get across that graduation stage. And through your staff and yourself and others, I think there's a lot of great success stories.
Right. Yeah. There's a tremendous amount of success stories. We have some graduates that are actually teaching there at Charlie Y. Brown now. So
Nice.
yeah, it's great to see that
Full circle.
full circle.
That's wonderful. Very good. Well, congratulations to you and your staff, who I know you are sharing these accolades with on these achievements here with the PED.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Let me turn to one of your colleagues this morning as well, Jennifer Griffith from Nabaani Elementary School. Kind of the same similar story, correct, for your school as well? Talk to me a little bit about what happened.
Yes, so we're exiting a school in need of improvement. There are a lot of things go into this: academic scores, attendance, behaviors. So we've put a lot of work into making our students feel welcome in our school, putting some positives into the school, some excitement. We just finished up our hero run. Students got to earn things like pieing the principal, and next month they get to...
That would be you, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Where's
so-
that picture? We don't have that picture, I'm afraid.
There's quite a few of them. I'm sure the kids had a
Okay.
great time. They pied myself and the PE teacher.
Good for you.
So they earned money for that. The money
Right.
that they earned from this hero run, they get to do fun things in their classroom. So some classes are going to be taking field trips. Some classes are inviting in an author, things like that. So they use the money for academic things that they're excited for in their own classes. So
Right.
it kind of gives them control of what they're doing and where they want to go with their learning.
Congratulations. And so now your designation, give us a little more insight into what that was. You were at the, what level were you at before?
We were a school in need of improvement, so
Okay.
we're moving into
Traditional. Right.
And so really a lot of it was just helping our teachers, supporting them in their academics. We have a lot of long-term subs in our school, so they don't have that teaching background. So basically starting at the bottom level and teaching our teachers how to be teachers. So putting that support in, doing those grade level teams so that they work together. So even though our long-term subs aren't certified teachers, they're getting supportive teachers, and they're all working together to set those lesson plans and making sure what our kids need is what they're getting in the classroom.
Got you. And so that designation then looks to be schools with underperforming student groups. Is that the correct
Yes.
definition? So those are just groups of students in your school who maybe needed some additional
Yes.
help or assistance, correct?
Correct. So a lot of our ELL students were struggling.
English
So
language learners.
English language learners,
Right.
yes. Sorry.
That's all
All
right.
that terminology that I forget.
No, that's
Everybody
okay.
doesn't use.
Right.
Yes, so we've put in a lot of work to support them. Intervention groups. We have educational assistants that go into the classrooms, give extra support with reading, things like that.
Gotcha. Very good. Well, congratulations again to you. And again, there was a ceremony at your school as well, correct?
There
so
was,
we'll show that a little bit of
yes.
picture there. And there you are on the right-hand side, right?
Correct.
With folks from the PED celebrating
PED.
and your new banner, I guess, which is prominently
Yes.
displayed.
Yes,
at
right in
your
the front
school.
as you enter into the school. Super excited celebrating that with everybody who comes to visit us.
Right. Wonderful. Congratulations to you
Thank
and
you.
your students. And I guess same question to you for your students and parents with 5 months left of the school year. What's your advice to them?
Just keep going. Let's have fun. Let's make school exciting and a place we all want to be.
Okay. Very, very good. Thank you for being here as well. Appreciate
Thank
it
you.
very, very much. And let's talk about Central Primary School as well. Jena Arambula is here. Did I get it better?
You did.
Okay, thank you. Principal of Central Primary School, and kind of same type of celebration, right? Your school
Yeah,
has
absolutely.
improved?
Yeah, absolutely. So we moved from an ATSI.EL, which is additional targeted and school improvement, and very focused on our English language learner students. So
Congratulations.
yes, so we're really proud of moving to traditional. It's taken a lot of hard work from all of the stakeholders at Central Primary, our teachers, our students, our families, and the support from our district office. So we're really proud of it. And we really want so badly to become that spotlight school. So that's our focus, our goal to move up to spotlight. And I know we can do it because like I said, we have phenomenal students and staff. So
Very good. And so with that spotlight school, that's just one more level
It
up,
is.
I guess, right? And so
Yeah.
you have some clear, I guess, directives as to what it would take to achieve that
Yep.
ranking, I guess, or designation is the term.
Yep, and we definitely want to see student growth and proficiency to keep going up with our focus on including all of our students, all the subgroups, our ELL, our students with disability, and so our 90-day plan, which is our school improvement plan that we have to do every semester for our public education department. Our focus is looking at data and having that drive our decisions and supporting those teachers and increasing their instructional capacity and just doing those very tried and true strategies, interventions in our schools so we can reach all of our students every day.
Got it. And now your students, of course, though, are the very youngest students, right,
Yes.
in the district. So is that more of a challenge, or have they not developed the bad habits yet at that age, or what would you say?
We do have a challenge at Central Primary because a lot of our designation is based off of criteria that's around the state testing. And at Central Primary, our grade is our only grade, our only cohort that takes that test every year. And so they really carry our school designation when it comes to that part of it, the proficiency and the growth of our students. And so that is a challenge for sure. But we're seeing, the vertical alignment with first, second, and third grade staff, third grade teachers telling our first grade and second grade teams, this is what we really need for you to do for us. So when those kids get to us in third grade, we can really focus on getting them ready for the test. And we're seeing, again, lots of momentum, and we're just really excited with the direction Central Primary is going in.
Very good. Well, congratulations to you and your staff, of course.
Thank you.
And your advice, again, here at we start winter break almost in a couple of days for your students and parents. What would you say to them?
We appreciate the parents that are getting their kids to school every day ready to learn. We hope they continue to do that, and our teachers are ready to receive them and provide lots of fun, engaging learning at high levels, and we're really excited because we're hoping we can tape our superintendent to the wall on Friday.
Oh, nice. I'll see a picture of that maybe next month, so that would be
Yes.
great.
That's
Perfect.
our goal this week is to
All
capture
right.
him.
And what a great transition to Mr. Summers, who is now here
Yes.
as well. So thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us.
And congratulations again
Thank
to
you.
all of our principals who are here this morning. And Mr. Summers, I guess you're going to get taped to the wall on Friday if all things go well, huh?
That's what it seems like.
Yeah, how about that?
So,
well,
yeah, I
that's
just learned
that's
about
part
that
of
this morning.
that's part of other duties assigned, I guess, right?
I guess so. I've really learned something with Principal Arambula when she says, hey, can you help me? My knee-jerk reaction is yes, what do you need? But
course.
with Principal Arambula, when she says, hey, can you help me? I always have to follow it up with what? And sometimes it's being taped to the wall, I guess. So
There you are. Well,
okay.
you're a good sport,
we'll
right?
do whatever we have to for kids.
There you go. That's right. We've heard about pies in the face, and now superintendent's taped to the wall, so it all goes according to plan, I guess. And so, but this has got to make you feel pretty good as superintendent to see your schools moving up in these designations and being recognized by the public education department.
Well, yes, but also fair is fair, and let's give credit where credit's due. So these are all designations based off of last year's performance,
Sure.
which, I was only there from April 22nd on. So I get no credit for this. The
Okay.
credit belongs to, Dr. Mizell, but more importantly, I think to these principals that have been sitting around the table. And it is a big thing, specifically CYB. So
Charlie Y. Brown.
Yes, Charlie Y. Brown. With the more rigorous improvement status, the reason that that's important that they exited that is because of what the state has put into their federal plan. So the state of New Mexico says if a school doesn't exit an MRI status within 3 years, then there's essentially 4 pathways for that school, and none of them are great, right? So pathway number 1 is we're going to close the school. Well, that doesn't do anything. It definitely doesn't do anything but target the probably most susceptible at-risk kids.
Right.
Option number 2 is let's restart the school, meaning they would close the school, the state would take the school over, and then they'd go from there. With the turnover that exists at the state level right now, I don't think that that's a good option. And then options 3 and 4 are to remove the superintendent and to remove the school board. And so the fact that CYB has exited that status gives me a sigh of relief, but I think also gives our community a sigh of relief. But one of the things that I would also be remiss if I didn't mention is CYB as an alternative high school. They're one of the very few alternative high schools that have actually exited this status. So just to echo what Principal Guitierrez said, a lot of gratitude and testament to our teachers is due here. So good on those teachers for really pouring into our kids, and good for our kids for taking that
Right.
support.
Well, I was going to ask you about that too. I mean, I think part of that's with your students too, who are sticking it out, and if it's all based or part of it based on graduation rates, that is, you can't do that without students. So it's important to
absolutely
get
right.
those students across that stage and congratulate them for a job well done.
Absolutely. At the end of the day, it's the students who have to do the work, right? The teachers pour into the students, they support the students, but it's the students who have to do the work. And so I think it goes both ways here. As for our 2 elementary schools exiting that status, they weren't necessarily in danger of being closed down necessarily, but I think it's, again, a testament to the work that's being done by the adults in that building to really pour into our kids and provide the supports that are necessary across the board. So
Right.
kudos to Central and NABA as well.
Very good. Well, a good message to the parents and students and others in the Bloomfield School District this morning about how the schools are doing. And there's some other news that I know you're here to share about something we talked about last month when you were here, which is your plans for some construction in the Bloomfield School District. And it seems to me kind of trying to maybe right-size some of your facilities for the current enrollments and projected enrollments and things along that line. So if you wouldn't mind just maybe revisiting that a little bit about the thought process behind some of these proposals, I guess, right?
Absolutely. So I'll give you a real quick
Sure.
executive summary, and
Okay.
real quick and summary don't necessarily fall in my vernacular sometimes. But in August of this year, we went to our voters asking them to authorize a bond of up to $28 million. And the idea behind that bond was we wanted to replace Central Primary, Nabaani Elementary, and Mesa Alta Junior High because they rank in the PSFA's top 100. That's not the top 100 list you want to be on, right?
Right, right.
It's actually the exact opposite. The higher ranked you are, right, like the larger your number is, the better condition your school is. The lower your number is, the worse condition it is. So Central's ranked currently at 37, Nabaani at 58, and Mesa Alta at 71. So all 3 of these schools are in need of replacement. We went to our voters and said, hey, help us pass this bond. We won't change the tax rate, but this bond will give us kind of the start money that we need to replace these campuses. And the thought process is we're not going to replace all 3 campuses. Instead, we want to kind of consolidate or combine Central and NABA. So currently Central serves grades 1 through 3, and Nava serves grades 4 through 6th, and then Mesa Alta serves grades 7 and 8. So just to get to the 8th grade, our students are transitioning actually 4 times if they start at our early childhood center. So we were trying to reduce that transition, make some positive relationships with well-respected adults, and kind of have a bang for our buck, so to speak.
Right.
So the idea to our voters, help us pass this bond. We're going to go to the state. We're going to ask for a state match, and we're going to actually rebuild 2 schools, 1 combined elementary and 1 middle school right next to each other. So for all intents and purposes, once a student enters the 1st grade, they don't leave that area, that campus, until they go to the high school. So with that said, we went to the Public Schools Capital Outlay Council in November with our ask. And the way that the state works is each district has a state and local match, and they're all different. So for instance, Zuni has a 100% match, which means any construction project that they're going to do for capital projects, the state will pay 100% of it. Alamogordo has a 50% match. The state will pick up 50% of the bill.
And let me ask you just a moment about why that is. I guess that's based on the district's ability to bond and the area's, I guess,
Right.
revenue generating opportunities or things like that?
Exactly. So
Okay.
it's based off of taxable areas.
Thank you.
So when we talk about...
That's the word I was looking for.
No,
Yeah,
no,
thank you.
absolutely. So when we talk about Central Consolidated, just our neighbors to the west, they have very little taxable land because of all of the Navajo Nation land that's within the district bounds. So they have a different match than even we do. Our state match is 37%, meaning, you know, if we fund... or if we're going to build a project that's $100 million, the state says we'll contribute $37 million to it, right?
Leaving you with the extra to pick up the rest, right?
Correct. We
Okay.
have to fund the other 63%. So we went to PSCOC in November, and essentially what I asked them to do is swap that. Instead of us paying 37% and you paying 63, or excuse me, sorry, let me say that again. Instead of us paying 63% and you paying 37%, why don't we swap those roles? Let us pay the smaller role because we're really doing something great. We're getting 3 ranked schools off the list. We're consolidating. We're right-sizing based off of declining enrollment historically. This checks all the boxes for you. So please help us to kind of revert the roles. Or reverse the roles.
Mm-hmm.
And so yesterday I happened to be in Santa Fe as they met again for their December meeting, and PSCOC said, yes, we'll do that. So currently our project is estimated to be $119.5 million, and PSCOC currently is committing effectively $84 million, meaning that the Bloomfield Schools actually is only on the hook for $32 million. So that's $28 million in the bonds that our voters authorized in August, plus some of the different fund balances that we currently have, including SB 9 and some operational cash reserve. So cross your fingers and knock on wood.
Right.
But it looks like we're going to be able to build 2 schools and only have to pay about 30% of the cost.
And for residents and property owners, I guess, in the Bloomfield schools, that's significant news.
It's great news because ultimately what it means for them is we don't have to go back out to them and say, can you help us authorize another bond to fund this project? Now, we're a long way away from actually breaking ground. We've got to do a lot of survey and study. In fact, phase 1 is called planning, right? And that's where we actually do architectural design
Right.
and geo studies and things of that sort. So I think at best we're probably about a year away from breaking ground. But that just means in 3 more years, I don't have to go back to our voters and say, could you please authorize another bond
To finish this project.
just so we can finish the project? Exactly.
Right. Gotcha. Well, congratulations. And you must be very persuasive in your comments to that committee.
I don't know if I'm persuasive or they're just a great committee with their head on their shoulders. I think it's probably the latter and not the former.
Well,
but it seemed to have worked, and so we're
well, it works
really
for the
excited.
benefit of your residents and your students, and the Bloomfield School District. So that is exciting. Where is the location that you are planning for this construction? It will be on one of the existing campuses, I guess, right?
Right, correct. So currently where Mesa Alta sits right now, there's about, I believe it's 25 acres that Mesa Alta is on. So the intent is to build on that site so that we'd never have to displace people. So the current thought process right now, and it could change because we're just now starting the planning phase, but the current thought right now is we could build both of these campuses concurrently, and then once they're built, we could actually demolish the current Mesa Alta Junior High, and then kind of finish up the playground and
Parking
athletic
lot or
activities.
whatever it might be,
Exactly.
sure. Got it.
And so what that means is we don't have to displace our students at NABA, we don't have to displace our students at Central, nor our students at Mesa Alta, because they'll have a brand new facility to move into before we actually start that demolishing process or refurbishment process of certain campuses as well. So
Gotcha. That's the plan, at least at this point, I guess,
as of
right?
now,
As you start
it's
this.
going to change. I'm certain of it, but that's the plan. for
Right,
now.
but you're starting this phase one now with this approval, and that, I guess, is maybe why the smiles on our other two principals here are a bit broader this morning, maybe, because there are some maybe new facilities in your future. Let me ask you both a little bit about this news. I mean, this has got to be exciting to know that maybe there's some new construction in your future, and you're probably dealing with buildings that are a bit, well, they've seen better years, maybe, perhaps, but they're doing okay. Give me your comments.
We're excited. We're very excited.
Right.
Yes, definitely. Brand new facility, more recent technology that we're needing. Although Bloomfield has done a great job providing all that stuff, but we are definitely looking forward to combining the campuses, reducing that transition with our students going from third to fourth. We see there'll be lots of benefits from that. So
Very good. And at Nabahani?
Well, we're super excited about having a new building, but not only having a new building, but also having our students from first through fifth grade in one building. That mentoring and that exchange of learning between the grade levels is super exciting.
Right. Very good. Well, congratulations. And I don't want to leave the impression that the buildings are falling apart, but they certainly are older buildings. And so I think kudos to your maintenance crews for keeping them in good repair. Central Primary, probably the older of the two. In my thinking, and
Without a doubt. And so let me, well, first and foremost, the original construction of Central Primary was 1958.
okay,
And the original
that's even older than me, so that's old.
Well, it's
and I'm
older
old.
than the moon landing, Scott.
But yeah, well, there you go.
By 11 years.
But look at me,
as
and
it
I'm
turned
falling
out.
apart, so I can only say. But yeah, go ahead.
At Nabahani the original construction was 1982. So I don't think 1982 is old either. But
I was actually in the third grade cohort. They finished that building in mid-school year, and we started the school year at Central Primary in third grade, and then after Christmas, they moved our cohort to Nabahani, so I was actually one of the first students.
brand new
that-
school.
That's
Yeah,
really cool.
and
At
it
that
was
time.
yeah, it was pretty awesome.
That's really
That's
cool.
how old it is.
Okay.
That's what I am.
Well, and so I and I don't want to miss this opportunity because Scott, you said something very poignant. Kudos to our maintenance crew. You're exactly right. They've done a great job of maintaining these buildings despite their age and despite the fact that they were designed for a world that we don't live in anymore. And so much so that when the Public Schools Facilities Authority came to visit our sites earlier this year, the deputy director said, "I can't wait to see you have new facilities because of the way you take care of old facilities." So absolutely kudos to them. We've got an amazing team that does whatever they can, whether it's in the classroom or it's concerning the classroom, to do what's best for kids.
Right, which is great. But again, I think even they would be excited about some new buildings to be able to maintain,
Much
rather
less
than
work.
trying to coax and just put together and keep the other ones working. And so and I think with the new facility, we talked about this last time too. It kind of lowers your costs for, I would say, heating and cooling and maintenance and things like that, because maybe some of those systems are maybe hard to replace or hard to find spare parts for or what have you. And there's all that
You're
part of
exactly
this
right.
too.
So I'm not really a car guy necessarily, but this does resonate with me. If I had a 1964 and a half Ford Mustang, it looks cherry on the outside. It's beautiful, but the systems inside are what we're concerned about. And so when the drive line goes out for it, it's really hard to just go to the auto parts store and pick up that part. It might not be manufactured anymore. And we're experiencing the same thing in some of our buildings. Some of those systems are so old that we can't just replace a part. In fact, we have to replace the entire system now, which sometimes becomes cost prohibitive given the age of the building. So,
Right.
yeah, very, very exciting stuff. We can't wait to invite you all out when we actually do break ground, and more importantly, invite you all out once the project's finished.
Very exciting. Well, looking forward to it, and thank you for that. Thank you for sharing that with our audiences this morning. Thank you all for coming in, all of our principals from Bloomfield Schools. We are out of time, I'm afraid to say, but great news, I think, to share this morning, and so
Absolutely.
thank you for doing that, and we wish you all happy holidays and have a great winter break, you and your students and staff, and have a great rest of the school year.
Likewise, Scott, thanks for having us, and thanks for allowing us to share what amounts to an early Christmas present for our community.
Sounds like it. That's true. Very true. Merry Christmas, everyone. Thanks for being here. My guest from Bloomfield Schools will be this morning right here on KSJE. KSJE and the San Juan College Native American Center present the Student Study Tip of the Week.
Hi, my name is Latoya, and I'm coming to you with the study tips of the week. It might be easy to fall into a trap of stressing yourself out while you're studying, but that will be counterintuitive in the big picture. You can control when you study and how you study to prepare you for your exams. After that, you have to be confident and try your best to retain the information. Believing in yourself and trusting that you've got this can help you forget about the stress and focus on moving forward. Positive thoughts, positive action, positive outcomes.
The Student Study Tip of the Week is presented by the San Juan College Native American Center and KSJE. Did you enjoy that podcast? We hope that you did. And if you did, share it with your friends. And if you really want to keep podcasts like this coming, please support KSJE. You can do it easily online at ksje.com.